What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United in action in the Premier League. Matchday 32 up against Newcastle United at St James's Park. 4:30 p.m. kickoff tomorrow. Manager is Eddie Howe, and Eddie Howe has been admitted to hospital and will miss the club's Premier League fixture with Manchester United on Sunday. The 47-year-old went to hospital late on Friday, having felt unwell for a number of days, and a statement said medical staff kept Eddie in hospital overnight for further tests, which are ongoing. He is conscious and talking with his family and is continuing to receive expert medical care. The club added, everyone at Newcastle United extends their best wishes to Eddie for a speedy recovery, and further updates will follow in due course. So in Eddie Howe's absence, assistant managers Jason Tindall and Graham Jones will lead Newcastle for the visit of Ruben Amorim's side to St James's Park. Last month, however, Eddie Howe did guide Newcastle to their first domestic trophy for 70 years with a deserved Carabao Cup final win over Liverpool at Wembley. Newcastle are currently 7th in the Premier League, chasing Champions League football, and Howe has been charged of the Magpies since November 2021 when he succeeded Steve Bruce as the club's head coach. Newcastle finished 11th, 4th and 7th in the past 3 seasons, and Howe has taken charge of 165 matches in all competitions for Newcastle, winning 84, drawing 36 and losing 45. So let's get into some insights for the match. In terms of some insights, put up for you now. Following the 2-0 win at Old Trafford in December, Newcastle are looking to complete their first league double over Manchester United since the 1930-31 campaign. Manchester United have lost their last 2 away Premier League games against Newcastle, last losing 3 consecutive league visits to St James's Park between 1969 and 1970. And Newcastle have won 4 of their last 5 meetings with Manchester United in all competitions, as many as they had in their previous 41. Each of Newcastle's last 8 victories over Manchester United in all competitions have been 2-0. They've won none of their last 34 when conceding against the Red Devils since a 4-3 Premier League victory in September 2001. Victory for Newcastle would make them the 4th team to do the Premier League double over Manchester United this season, the most different sides to do so in a single campaign since 1957-58 with 4. So we are looking to avoid Newcastle United doing the Premier League double over us. But in terms of some recent form for Newcastle, they are coming away with Premier League victories against Leicester City away from home. They beat Brentford at home, and then of course they did beat Liverpool in the EFL Cup final 2-1. A very deserved victory. I did see the match, and Newcastle were fully deserved of the victory there. Liverpool didn't turn up, and Newcastle fully deserved to win the trophy. They did beat West Ham away from home as well. They unfortunately went out to Brighton in the FA Cup 5th round 2-1. That was at St James's Park as well. They lost to Liverpool in the league, unfortunately for them. They beat Nottingham Forest, and they lost to City at the Etihad as well this is in February. So yeah, in terms of Newcastle's team news, Gordon, Lascelles, Hall, Botman and Willock are all out for Newcastle. So in terms of their starting lineup, this is who I've got lining up for them. Obviously Pope in net, Trippier, Shaw, Burnley, Livramento making up the back 4, Guimaraes, Tonali, Joe Linton with that midfield 3, Murphy, Isak and Barnes making up the front 3. So in terms of how Newcastle play, building up in a 4-3-3 formation, focuses on creating solid foundation at the back while maintaining fluidity and options in midfield. The formation obviously begins with 4 defenders who provide width and stability, allowing for controlled possession from deep areas as well. The midfielders position themselves to exploit space between the opposition's lines, creating passing triangles that facilitate smooth progression up the pitch. So Newcastle players also constantly rotate during the build-up. The team adopts a dynamic approach, shifting between formations to create numerical advantages and exploit space. Eddie Howe's focus is always to get the players into their best positions where they can make the most out of their individual skills. So Newcastle's attackers constantly make aggressive runs in behind the opposition defence whenever the central midfielders have the ball. This movement is a key aspect of their offensive strategy, designed to stretch the defensive line and create space. Another aspect of Newcastle's high build-up is their ability to create numerical advantages against the opposition's defensive line. The two number 8s will often move into the forward line, creating a 4-1-5 formation, And in terms of the final third, they like to use overlaps, underlaps, and get many players into the box as well. So in terms of defending without possession, Eddie Howe places much value on being aggressive without the ball, and this shows in Newcastle's high pressure. Howe wants his team to go man to man and intensely press the opposition. Each player is assigned a direct opponent to mark tightly, ensuring no easy passing options are available. And this intense pressure forces the opposition team into making hurried decisions, often resulting in turnovers in dangerous areas. So Newcastle's base formation when defending is a 4-5-1 formation. They look to set up in a mid to low block, always trying to close the center of the pitch and force the opposition out wide. Defending in a 4-5-1 formation is centered around maintaining a compact and organized structure that makes it difficult for the opposition to penetrate through the middle. Additionally, Howe also wants his team to squeeze the pitch when defending. This means constantly pushing the team up as much as possible. So in terms of Newcastle's star man, I'm going to have to say, of course, it's going to be Alexander Isak. He's got 20 goals, 5 assists in 27 Premier League games. Alexander Isak's ability to drop deep and receive the ball in the build-up play is a crucial aspect of his game. This skill allows him to link up effectively when midfielders and wingers, creating a fluid and dynamic attacking unit. When Isak drops low, he often draws defenders out of position, opening up space for his teammates to exploit, and his vision and passing accuracy enable him to distribute the ball efficiently, often initiating dangerous attacking moves. Additionally, Isak's strength and ball control help him hold up play under pressure, allowing Newcastle to maintain possession and build attacks methodically. So Alexander Isak, he's going to be one to be looking out for. But yeah, I think Newcastle very, very dangerous side, and you know, they fully deserve to win the EFL Cup. And you know, no surprise they are 5th in the Premier League. They are a better side than us. Personally, I think I would take Isak at United, but I think he's going to cost like 100 million, so maybe not in the summer. In terms of United, let's speak about United a little bit. Manchester United are coming away with a 2-2 draw against Lyon. And in terms of going forward overall, we are coming away with a 0-0 draw against Manchester City at Old Trafford, and before that we did lose to Forest, unfortunately, away from home. But going forward, in my opinion, this is United's worst ever attack. I've seen Højlund, Garnacho, Xerxes and Mount. You know, I think they can all leave. I don't think none of them are good enough, to be honest, in my opinion. Bruno needs to play in the double pivot because Casemiro and Ugarte don't have the quality on the ball to find line breaking passes, and playing 7 defensive players, I think that hindered us against Lyon and against City as well. But defensively, I think we have improved, and with possession in our own defensive third, we have improved under Amorim, and I think under Erik ten Hag we would have lost these games doing the 4-2-4 high press as well. In terms of Onana as well, he can leave, in my opinion. Worst Manchester United goalkeeper ever. And as for the forward line, we need an entirely new forward line, and I think we probably need a new goalkeeper as well. So in terms of United's 11, I've changed it up quite a bit, to be honest. Obviously, in terms of injuries, Martinez, Diallo, Evans, De Ligt, Heaven and Collier are out. In terms of United's 11 that I've gone with, this is my 11, of course, not predicted. Bayindir and Net, Onana's out for me. I don't think he could start against Newcastle. Certainly don't want him to start against Lyon either. Mazraoui, Maguire, Euro making up the back 3. Dalot, Casemiro, Fernandes and Dogu making up the midfield 4. Of course, I've dropped Fernandes into the double pivot because I think that's his best position, and I don't necessarily... I think he can play in the the inside 10 positions, but I just think that we have more control, and we're better going forward when Fernandes is there in playing in that double pivot. You know, because, you know, I don't necessarily want us to be playing with 7 defensive players, so one player needs to be a little bit more attacking. So that's why I've got Fernandes in the double pivot, Mount and Eriksen making up the inside 10 positions, because I don't want Garnacho to be starting, and of course Xerxes up front, and I don't want Højlund to be starting either. I don't think Højlund and Garnacho are good enough. The jury is still out on Mount as well, because he's been injured for the majority of his time that he's been here. Xerxes as well is a new signing as well, so I'll give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. But you know, I don't think Xerxes is Man United quality, but I could be wrong still. But the jury's still out on them. I wouldn't be mad if all 4 of them, Xerxes, Mount, Garnacho and Højlund, were to leave in the summer, but that's just me. In terms of United star man, gonna have to say it's Bruno Fernandes. He creates the most chances, and Man United rely on him the most. He's got the most goals and assists so far in all competitions for United as well, and where would we be without him? So in terms of how do you beat Newcastle, I think exploiting the high line. I think they are going to play with a high line, pace, power, strength, unpredictability, of course. Using the three centre backs to build up, as they're going to high press us. I think we can use the three centre backs to build up really well, and then careful on the set pieces as well. I think Newcastle are going to be dangerous from set pieces, from set plays and dead ball situations, winning the second balls in the box. Careful on the aerial threat that they have, especially Dan Burn. He's going to be a handful in the box as well. Alexander Isak as well. I think he scored against us at Old Trafford, if I'm not mistaken, this season, so we're going to have to be careful of him. Wing backs have to be better going forward. Dogu and Dalot have to be good outlets, and of course scoring early is going to help us as well. So let's just take a quick look at the league table before we head off. So let me pull up the league table right now for you. So we are in 13th position, and if we do win against Newcastle tomorrow, we wouldn't move up any places in the Premier League. We would be on 41 points, and that would basically ensure Premier League safety. I'm pretty sure, because because then I don't think Ipswich would be able to catch us, because you know, if Ipswich do lose to Chelsea, then I think, and then we beat Newcastle, I'm pretty sure that is going to be Premier League safety all but secured. But I can't believe I'm saying that, but it is what it is. So yeah, we would move on to 41 points if we were to beat Newcastle tomorrow. Newcastle, on the other hand, are looking to be getting into the Champions League spaces, because Arsenal beat Real Madrid in the Champions League. 5th place in the Premier League would be enough to secure Champions League qualification, and if Newcastle do beat us tomorrow, they would go on to 56 points, and they would be in 4th position, so they would go up a little bit. And but yeah, in terms of my score prediction, I'm not expecting Manchester United to be coming away with the win. I'm going for a 2-0 Manchester United loss, and I'm going for Alexander Isak to grab both the goals for Newcastle. And yeah, that's it from me. Hopefully I'm proven wrong, you know. Hopefully Manchester United do come away with all 3 points. But you know, this game isn't that important in the grand scheme of things, and in the grand scheme of our season. The most important match is going to be against Lyon on Thursday at Old Trafford. And you know, if you were to say lose against Newcastle, win against Lyon, would you take that? Of course I'd take that, because the Europa League is taking precedent over the Premier League, because we're not doing anything in the league this season. We're most likely going to finish bottom half. We're not going to break into the top 10. And you know what, I take a loss against Newcastle if it means beating Lyon at Old Trafford on Thursday. But yeah, hopefully we do beat Newcastle. Hopefully we do beat Lyon as well. And yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you after the match.